marriage is the center of everything, and career is not the center of everything. So first we need to build, whether it's a boy or a girl, make them financially independent so they can make their own decisions. I'm not saying it is only for women, it is also for men.
Greetings, ladies and gentlemen. Today it is an honor and a pleasure for me to introduce you all to this very particular session where we are going to know more about the women entrepreneurs in India. My name is Harsh and I'm going to moderate this session for all of you, wherein I'm going to introduce you all about the event and perhaps the person who is going to interact and address all of us. First of all, I request you to all kindly acknowledge and welcome the presence of our esteemed guest, Madam Vandana Tolani, who is here with us. I would like to request all the persons, those who are watching this session on YouTube, to kindly upload in the comment section and welcome the presence of our guest. Madam Vandana Tolani is a co-founder and chief executive officer of Convanto. Along with being an strategic advisor, she is also the mentor of business management consultant. She has 15 years of experience across both international and Indian business in the advisory field. Additionally, she have a large network of business relationship and also the member of a number of networking houses. So first of all, ma'am, I welcome you to in this session. Thank you so much for joining and agreeing to share your thoughts with us.
Thank you so much for inviting me to this show, and happy to be here. If you allow me, I would like to introduce myself so that everybody gets clarity on a little bit about my journey.
Sure, ma'am,
Mm.
sure. Please.
So I was in Singapore and Jakarta, 15 years in investment banking. And this is my 6th year back in India in investment banking. While I was in Jakarta and Singapore, I had my own family office fund. When I came back to India, I did some investments and then went back to advisory. My company name is Convanto. We are a sector agnostic company, and we do typically deal size 1 million to $25 million.
Indeed, ma'am. I think it's a kind of privilege today to hear all these things from you, and I'm pretty sure that this conversation will be going to be useful for many of our viewers. And it's our pleasure, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining. So, moving to the topic of today's session, which we have chosen is women entrepreneurship in India. What is holding them back? Ma'am, my first question to you is: do you think it's important for more women to take up entrepreneurship as career?
Yes, it is very important that we have a lot of women that do entrepreneurship, because they need this platform to have the exposure for their talents. I'll explain you how. In India, women are conditioned since childhood that they are only should be oriented to kitchen and housework, and they cannot do certain things. So we have categorized things. Boys can do these things and girls can do these things. Wherein, if we look at it as a human perspective, we all can do almost each and everything. There is no particular thing that, okay, this only boys can do or this only girls can do. For instance, my daughter used to play soccer a lot. So I never stopped her to play soccer. So, in India, we don't see that happening because we think that soccer is a boy play. Similarly, So we think that women cannot do technology. We feel that women cannot be in finance, or she cannot run a business. She doesn't know anything. So, or she is too busy with her kids. Or home, or this is a woman has to be home, and she has to do only these specific things, and even big decisions she's not allowed to make. So hence it is very important that we encourage all the women to get into entrepreneurship, but there are steps to it as to how they can get into there. Yeah.
Indeed, ma'am, very meaningful. I think you have given a very detailed overview, and I think the viewers, those who are watching this session, they are surely going to understand this. And not only I think, but I do strongly
Yeah.
believe this, ma'am. And I think we all need to understand that we are in the generation of women like entrepreneurs like Kiran Majumdar Shah and Sudha Murthy. So we have to understand that if God has created both the genders, then the gender equality should be maintained. Ma'am, my next question to you is. In your experience, does being a woman in the entrepreneurship world come with challenges? If so, what would that be and how can they overcome?
Yeah. In entrepreneurship journey, a woman comes up with lot of challenges. So first challenges it if, for instance, she is also a wife. She also is a mother. She needs to give attention to that, and if she gives unable to give enough attention to home, she is not considered as a good woman. So a good woman is a woman that will give attention to home, kids, and then pay attention to herself later. So I think this needs to change. So whatever, we can always prioritize what needs attention and what needs, but not let anything suffer because of something else that is there. And women don't get support at home from anyone, so that they can move out, and a house can also be taken care, as well as everything can be managed. So these things stop the woman to grow at a certain level where she has the capability. Not only that, you would find very few Indian husbands who would, push their wife to uh, go out and work and support her with home and kids taking. So, because typically in India, it is taught to the women that this is not a man's job to take care of home or to cook, or to take turns with things. So I feel that that needs to change. Secondly, when as women in the finance industry or any industry, typically it is also taught to them that maths girls don't understand maths, they don't know finance, or they don't know technology. So then again, where you will I can tell you, I have seen many of my daughter's friends, and who are all girls, and they are very very good in technology, even better than us. So we just need to encourage them. If they like something, it has to be also of their choice, what they like, what they don't like. Typically the decisions made by a woman is based on the father, brother, or husband. That has to stop also. It has to be her decision in what she likes, what she doesn't like. So these things stop a woman to express her talent in the way that she can even do much better. Not only this, even in big corporates, women are discouraged. Oh, would you be able to do this with 3 kids? Or I think she can't do this. I think she doesn't have the capability, or so things like that. So these kind of comments and these kind of things need to stop, because not that it stops anybody who believes in themselves, but these things make a person or a woman underconfident, and then even if she's capable, she starts thinking low about herself. So I think these are some of the challenges. Business inclusion is not given to women, and if you see that Typically, if you do a Google research on how many women are there in the finance and how many men, you will see only one fourth of women are there in finance, because it is again a male dominated industry. So
Indeed, ma'am.
these are the things that
I think you have raised a very good point, and I think we all need to understand this. And I must say that anyone's capability, any individual's capability, should not be judged on the basis of its gender.
yes,
We should have to first take care that the things, if the God has given both, God has made both the gender, then everyone have its own capability, and nobody should be treated on the basis of but that
judged.
she is
Yeah.
girl, she have to cook food, or she has to live in home only. Ma'am, my next question to you is, and I'm pretty sure you have answered this question more than 500 times, but I'm again asking you, ma'am, it's a kind of request to you. Please tell our viewers what first sparked your mind, your interest to become woman entrepreneur.
So, since at my younger ages, I never liked people who would control too much. And, to be under somebody and do something, like just monotonously follow some direction. That was the thing. So, I always did reverse of everything, basically. I decided that, I want to be free. Like the first thing that came in my heart is that I felt it's in entrepreneurship you are free to do lots of things. So you can manage your house, you can manage I supposing some incident is happening at the highway where the buses stop working and you need to pick up your child. If you are 40 kilometers away uh, at a job, how would you reach? So I wanted to make it in such a manner that, if I am working somewhere as an entrepreneur, I can always reach to my children and do all these things together while doing the entrepreneurship journey. So I wanted to have that freedom, that I can do anything at my own sweet time. So typically entrepreneurs have their own decision making, their own timelines, their own times that they have set for certain things. They don't have to keep on doing a 9 to 5 job every day and report to somebody. So this kind of thing diverted me towards entrepreneurship, and also at heart I wanted to do something really different. Like I just wanted to break the ice. I didn't want to go typically do like selling clothes, or do something related to beauty and all these other stuff. I wanted to do something really different. So I thought that yes, I'm going to prove myself in this industry, and hence I went into this is my 20th year in this journey.
Indeed, ma'am, and I think you are a very great inspiration for all of us. Ma'am, my next question to you is: do you think enough is being done to help women to pursue in entrepreneurship? If not, what would you recommend?
See, it all begins from home. So the first thing is at home conditioning, whether to a boy child or a girl child, needs to stop. Any kind of conditioning which makes their mind, in such a manner that they are not able to explore other things. So first thing I would recommend that it begins from home. Everything begins from home. So the people need to be educated, that to stop conditioning their children with standard things. Like I have seen mothers also forcing their children to drink milk, and then the children are vomiting. So if you understand that why the child is saying no, and you can make things around it or make something fun for them, they would not hate the things so much. Or maybe the child is having a early morning problem. So these kind of conditioning, whether oh, the boy has to only play soccer, or the girl has to only play with dolls, and the boy can litter the whole house and the girl has to tidy up. So all these things need to stop. First is this step. So the way we have educated when the pandemic came in, how on all the calls that we were making, there was a caller tune and everybody had to wear mask. How did we educate India about it, and explain them? Is similar to way if thinking that this is also kind of a pandemic, and we start educating everybody through these kind of measures, it will really make a lot of difference. People in India kill their girl child. Also, the dowry system still exists in many places, and marriage is the center of everything, and career is not the center of everything. So, first we need to build, whether it's a boy or a girl, make them financially independent so they can make their own decisions. I'm not saying it is only for women; it is also for men. First step is that. So if that is not taught in the houses, and marriage is the only center of everything, and then making babies is the only center of everything, then everything goes for a toss. So educating the country about it, and how many people want to take this challenge up, that educate 2 3 new people every day, who seem to have these stuck areas, and make a change. So this is one thing that I would like to share. Secondly, in offices, we have seen that males are troubling the females a lot and not letting them work, so that needs to stop. In Even in our entrepreneurship journey, we get troubled also. So the all that needs to stop. It's a whole thing from the beginning till the end, and it begins from what we are taught at home, at the early childhood. So that makes it a lot of difference in the entire society, and that's a big change. And how, see, when the virus came in, everybody had to wear the mask, everybody had to use sanitizer, and everybody did so many things so that they don't get the virus. Similarly, if we do 3 steps in such a vigor, that will change the entire mindset of everybody, and everybody would just start following it, and there is some fine attached to it. I guess then it might change. Like if you take an example of driving, nowadays, if you see, there are cameras everywhere that capture the speed, right? And if you break that uh, speed chain, you get fined. So I think that kind of and have more and more women, like cab drivers should be women. There should be pink cabs, or have something which gives them economic returns, as well as gives them that safety for everybody. We have less police officers now. We have a lot many, but compared to men, we still have less police officers. So these kind of things, finance industry has very few women. So I think business inclusion for all aspects. We will not see many people, chefs as men also. Like, if you're having a cloud kitchen at home and you want selling it to Zomato, it will be more women oriented. So change everything, and then so everything is for everybody, and nothing should be a rocket science just because of gender. That's what I'm trying to say.
Indeed, ma'am. Again, it was a very wonderful message from your side, and I was listening you very carefully. You made one point that marriage shouldn't be the center of everything. Career should be, and I
Yeah.
think this point will touch all our viewers and will understand its meaning. Ma'am, my next question to you is: how much do you think this entrepreneurship has changed since you joined?
Uh, so I cannot say any percentage to it, but it is still, it's not, I wouldn't say it is 90 to 100% that has changed. I think only 50 to 60% we have changed. But though we project ourselves to be a really modern society, and we try to, like project ourselves, but at heart, deep down, we are the same people, you know, where we think that, oh, a woman cannot drive, a woman cannot do this, I can do it. So that ego thing is, for the males, have always come up, in many forms, even at work. So I think when that changes, or any mindset that changes, then the entire thing will change. We have, if you see the Prime Minister of New Zealand, how well she took care of everything, having a small baby, and eradicating the whole thing. I mean, because so things like that, you need to be shown a lot, so that women get encouraged. And like even education, the right kind of education. When I say that, uh, people are not educated at home about certain things, that how to take care of their sisters, or simple things like that. And how to these things, what we inculcate, the values, will make a big change in the future. So that kind of upbringing needs to first change, and we need to have the parent orientation programs.
Indeed, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question to you is that government of India introduced, or we can say that set up many type of incubation center all over the country. How do you
Hmm.
see this?
See, those incubation centers are definitely helping people, but we need to connect with the right set of people, and we need to understand what they provide. And make use of the facilities in the right manner. So, if the government has done that, they have done a good job. But of course, in their system also, are we connecting with the right manner? Are they running it in the right manner? Typically, you tell me any office in India run by the government? Uh, is it that where we don't have to take pain and stand in a queue and listen to some thrashing, scolding from the officer to get a small documentation work done? All that needs to stop. Just because they are at the government's office, that doesn't mean that they have the authority to do that. So you can see, even for simple documentations, there are so many that we need to go to government offices. We are always in the queue. We have to keep leading the officer. So I don't know if that is kind of things are happening in the incubation center as well, where somebody is bullying somebody. So I think that needs to stop. We
Indeed,
need to
ma'am.
thoroughly check.
It's sad, but yeah, it's reality.
Yeah, it's a sad reality, and we need to change. Yeah. In my own bank, it's a government bank. Sometimes I have a hard time because they just don't listen.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question to you is, what advice would you give yourself to just starting out?
To somebody who is just starting out, whether it's a male or a female, first do some work in a big corporate for a few years. Gain the experience, gain the knowledge, make your own savings, and then jump into entrepreneurship. Don't just jump into entrepreneurship with your mother's and father's money and with having no direction. So, even if you have a plan, show the business plan to somebody who can help you out with it and manage your money. So, these kind of things many youngsters do. They want to play around with their mother's and father's savings, which is incorrect. They need to first make their own savings, reach to that level, and then go into entrepreneurship. Unless their parents are already into entrepreneurship and they want to carry that forward, then that's a different thing altogether. And they need to attend webinars like these, read good books on entrepreneurship, and uh, you know uh, read a lot about what skills they need to have for the right kind of entrepreneurship. And there are some very good sites on Facebook that have these small quotes on what are the 5 good steps to be a good entrepreneurship. So just follow one and see where it takes you. So it's a whole journey that one needs to understand. It's not just uh, you know a minute thing by pressing a button.
All right, ma'am. Ma'am, my next question to you is, What should not be the one's expectation just starting out in this entrepreneurship journey?
So sometimes you need to bring down your own expectations. You have to high expectations. Oh, I'm going to do this. I'm going to do that, and you tend to burn up a lot of money in during. So you need to first bring down your own expectations. One is that, and make a business plan, proper one, show it to somebody who can read it, see if you have the enough money to run that business. So set some guidelines for yourself before you go into this journey of entrepreneurship. And expectations, there are different kind of expectations in this journey. Once you have clients, then you'll have to live up to the clients expectations. Then if you're running a family along with it, then you'll have a family expectations to take care of. So on the first and foremost step is set some guidelines for your step, for yourself. Then you have to start setting expectations for everybody around you, that look, I'm doing this and this is how it's going to be. So we need to get on the same page, whether it's the client, whether it's your home. So basically client management and people management, which we lack in many at times, we need to educate ourselves that how to do these things in a better manner.
All right, ma'am. I can say there is a lot to learn from you, but today I don't want to take you much time. So, moving to my last question of this session, ma'am.
Sure.
Actually, it's rather I'm seeking advice from you. What will be your one piece of advice to all those entrepreneurs, those who have just started in this before the pandemic, and then pandemic came, all their business plan means got hit by this pandemic.
So see what happens when a storm comes. Does the storm last forever? It doesn't. And when the storm comes, it shatters everything. But then again, we need to build the courage to rebuild ourselves. And failure is the stepping stone to greatness. If this has happened, it has happened for something better, that you would see it much later, not now. Because now you are in that phase that, oh, you have failed in this journey. So I would suggest everybody that lots of things happen. There could be worse things happening than this as well. So we need to deal with it. We need to be positive, and we need to be able to deal with failure with positive mindset. So change your attitude, and don't never give up with anything, whatever you are doing, whether it's your entrepreneurship journey, whether it's something, a skill that you are taking up, whether it's your job, or give it time. Don't just give it up so easily, because it's a learning phase for you as well. And failures will be there. I mean, when we are in school, don't we fail in some subjects, and then we learn that, oh, this was a mistake that we did? Don't we have failures there also? So it's the entire life is a school, I feel. And we are learning each day. So we'll have, of course, every day will not go smoothly, and it's not that every day will be a failure. And just like the storms don't last, so we have to keep moving with the flow. Whether good things come or bad things comes, we have to keep up with that balance, and then only we can move forward. So instead of worrying about it, you need to think, okay, what next? What are the resources that I am left with? Or what can I do next, so that I can start again? So I think that is, I have seen 3 to 4 phases like this. So I revived back on my own, with no family support, and no friend support as well. So I think you need to first just sit with yourself and see what are the resources that you have, and then start again.
Indeed, ma'am, it was really a very wonderful advice from your side, and I can share that it was a healthy discussion with you on the topic. Thank you so much, ma'am,
Thank
for
you.
joining and giving your important time. We look forward to conduct more such session with you in future. Thank you so much, ma'am, for joining.
Thank you for having me here. Have a
On the
pleasant
ground is
day.
where I stand. Never give up, that was always the plan. It's so cold,